Hey guys, welcome back to the tutorial series on creating Tetris within Minecraft. And I think this is our 15th tutorial. And at this point, we've just gone over the rotationIsClear function at a high level, meaning I described the algorithm as it needs to perform in plain English, and I challenged you guys to come up with the solution in the code. Alright, and maybe you got the same output, maybe you were having some trouble with it, but if that's the case, either way, we'll go ahead and go over the actual code now. Okay, so here is our rotationIsClear method. And let's go over this line by line. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set a scan drone, a new scan drone, to this variable named scan drone. And we're going to move that scan drone to our cursor drone's location, because remember, our cursor drone's location is basically the current bottom left reference point for where our block is at this point. Bottom left reference point in that 4x4 square we're using as like a reference box for our block drawing and everything for the tetraminos. Now, the next thing we're going to do, and I already explained why we're going to do that, so I shouldn't have to explain that again. But what we're going to do next is we're going to call this function right here, which I kind of clued you guys in on having to do. We're setting a variable named new orientation to get new orientation, which is this method here. And we're passing in a direction and a block current orientation. Okay, so here's our get new orientation function, and you can see where we passed in the direction and the current block's orientation. And the first thing that we do is we evaluate, is the direction left, and if it is, then we know it's, we need to pass back a new orientation based on the current orientation. So imagine this for just a second. So you have an upright block and you want to rotate it left. What's the new orientation? Well, it's left side down. Upright and then left. That means the left side of the block is going to be facing down. Likewise, if you have a right side down block, you want to rotate left. Well, that's going to sort of even things out, right? So it's going to be upright now. You have an upside down block that you want to rotate left. That's going to make a right side down that you're passing, or as the new orientation, right? And that's all this function does. It's essentially just kind of like a lookup function, like the rest of these functions, that you pass in an orientation and direction, and that you want to rotate, and then you get a new orientation for the block. Alright, so let's see how that ties in with the rest of the isRotationClear function. Okay, so we're back at our rotationIsClear function, and let's go ahead and continue where we left off. So we're getting the new orientation from that function that we pass in the block orientation that the block has currently. Right, so the next thing we do is we get the locations with that new orientation. Okay, because our goal here is to see if we can rotate. So we need to get the new orientation that a particular block will be, and then scan each one of those locations to see if it's okay if we rotate. Okay, the rest of this function is you should be pretty familiar with, because it's essentially the same exact thing as the moveIsClear. The main difference being that you're passing in the new orientation when you get the locations rather than the current locations. And you don't have to move the scan drone left and right and down. Alright, so now let's go ahead and replace that test the way that I was testing it, which is sending this message rather than actually doing the evaluation. So this is the evaluation that we need to make. It's actually the exact same evaluation as down here at the moveIsClear function. and we can go ahead and delete the create message with line that I had. And awesome. So stay tuned. We're gonna start going over some of the higher level programming logic or the game logic that needs to take place. All right, thanks guys.